Good morning. How you doing? My Monica is here already. We're just giving it a few seconds for Instagram to catch up. There we go. Hey, it's working much smoother lately. But of course, this is probably the last time that we're going to have to do that because, as I will repeat later when there are more people here, this is going to be on YouTube only pretty soon. So it is chilly down here in my basement in New Jersey. Oh, and Monique is here as well. So, lots of fun ideas boiling around in my head lately. So we're going to talk about some of those, see if we can streamline some things, do some things that make some things take less time, do less redundancies so that I have more time to make awesome stuff for y'all. Ooh, I have this Indian black tea that's rose something or other. It's really yummy. I'm not even sure where I got it. It came in a fancy little box. Remember the way that the big box from the Twice Sheared Sheep advent calendar that was like, a box that then the top folds over and then down and kind of magnetizes. It's like that, but it's only like this big, right? It's like this big. And then inside is a tin like this, kind of a little bit bigger than like a round tin of, how you can sometimes get those round tins of mints. It's kind of like that, but it's about this big, right? And it's full of the loose leaf tea inside the really fancy cardboardy the really fancy box. Yeah, I don't even remember where I got it. I must have been like, it was probably like an overstock of something that I got through like, some company that sells overstock of things or whatever, but it's really yummy. Anyway, you know me, I like to give everybody like a good 5 minutes before we get into the get into everything so that people have time to get here. Cause sometimes you're running behind, especially right now when it's so freaking cold everywhere. I mean, like everywhere, right? Even where it's supposed to be warm. And nobody's head is on straight right now. And kind of feel like if your head's on straight right now, there's something wrong with you, which means your head isn't on straight, right? So nobody's head is on straight. That's where I'm going. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So I don't know if y'all saw the, I can probably open it and share my screen real quick. Let me see if I go back to here, since we're still giving everybody a few minutes to show up. If I go, come on. Go back. Nothing likes to work. How many times do we have this conversation? Nothing likes to work while I am on a live stream, but I like to keep like one tab open down here just in case I need to share something with you. It's easier to do that. Let's see. I think where's the full screen? It's hiding behind the computer on the second screen. All right, so if I do present or invite, we're going to present. We're going to share the screen. Okay, so y'all may have seen this little thing that I shared. Here we go. This little image that I shared. Ta-da! Y'all may have seen that on Facebook. I think I shared it on Instagram as well. If not, I meant to. I should make sure I did. So what was I going to say about it? Oh, yeah. Pretty soon there will be merch available. And this is one of the images that will be on the merch. Right now I just have 2 images. Here's the other one. My watch is dead. I should probably remember to charge it. That's why it was vibrating to tell me that that was its death deal. It was like, I'm dying. Yeah, that was the end of my watch. The battery has gone kaput and I need to remember to charge it. I'm really bad at remembering to charge my watch. All right. So anyway, so this is one of the things that will be on merch. And then this is the other one. So, and while I tried to make them both yarn themed in general, I realized afterwards that they both have a crochet thing in them that's really only crochet. So this one, the FDT that says foundation double treble, that is a crochet stitch. There wasn't a generic FDT I could think of that worked for yarn in general. If someone can think of one that works for yarn in general, and then over here, what was the other one? Oh, Crojo. Nobody says Knit Joe, right? They say Crojo. They don't even say like Yarjo or Yarjo. I don't know of a Knit Mojo kind of, or Yarny Mojo kind of something that is similar to Crojo that's for yarn in general or knit. Everything else is works for both knit and crochet. So yeah, for both of them, I was like, I will make this for knit and crochet both. And then after everything was done and entered into everything, I was like, oh crap, they both have something that's crochet only. Oh well, but you know, I can work on it, and I am happy to take suggestions. And I think what I'll also do with some of the merch as I come up with more design ideas, there'll be some that is by Stitchwell, or even pan Stitchwell. And then there will be some that would be like, here's a knit version, here's a crochet version kind of thing, you know, if it's something that's specific to, you know, knit or crochet, just because it's fun. Sometimes it's fun to have something that is actually specific. So I'll try to be even in that and not heavy on one or the other. So anyway, that was just, I wanted to show you those in case like you've seen this, because this one is, I put it up, I put the image of this one up on a couple places, especially in Facebook yesterday, and it's getting shared a lot. So if you saw it and you're like, that would be cool on a shirt, it will be available soon in the next few days, probably. Shirts, bags, mugs, whatever. So I'll make sure to let y'all know. Let me go back to the regular. Ta-da! All right. So here we are. We are at 12:07 Eastern. So that was plenty of time for people to show up. Oh, it's hard to think when you're cold. I just had a brain fry. Again, Monica says she's definitely Sable. Stash accumulated beyond life expectancy. I love that one. So yeah. Oh, so when I made the first one, I actually I tried drawing it, right? And I was like, well, this is fun. I have those Sharpie paint markers. That I use the Sharpie paint markers, these guys, right? The kind of newish. I mean, they're not that, they're a couple of years old at this point. So I use these. Let's see if I can back up far enough so Instagram gets the whole thing in it. To make this. But I was like, you know what? I kind of liked the yarn images I had online already. That Kyla had done with colored pencils. I just liked the shading and everything of it better. So while this is fun and all, I just used for the other one, I just used the images I had already brought into my Canva that Kyla drew for me, and then I just made the signs with, you know, basic shapes and fonts that I could legally use. So no, none of it is, if anybody's wondering, none of it is AI. That's where my brain was going. None of it is AI. Oh, look, and there's Kyla. Speaking of Kyla, there she is. She's going to be like, Mom, I told you not to use those yarn images. She didn't say not to use the yarn images. She just, and that was not a very good impression of Kyla. She didn't say not to use the yarn images. She just said she wasn't all that fond of them, but I think they're cute. And I wanted to use them. So I'm using them because I like them. All right. So anyway, brain fry. It's definitely one of those days. As I said earlier, but a lot of you weren't here yet, is we are going to be on YouTube only starting next week. So let me see. Do I have the little, I meant to toss into the banner, but that's okay. Here we go. Show here. All right. And you don't even need to do the @ actually. You can just do youtube.com / Jessie at home. I know it has the @ in there. The @ is, I realize it works either way. Here, I can even, because when I tried it this morning, I was like, I am pretty sure it works either way. Here we go. If I just type in, let me make sure, youtube.com / Jessie at home, enter. So I don't know why it just felt the need to make that in its very own window. There we go. I probably hit something weird. I'm really good at hitting something weird. So why don't we do, I'm going to turn off the timer on this. Timer off. Nope. I meant to do that. Okay, timer off. There we go. It's going to turn it. Edit. I need to edit that to make it not have the timer. Timer off. That's why I was hitting the wrong button. I was turning the timer off for something else. There we go. All right. So there, that is that link right there. That will take you to my YouTube. So it's just youtube.com / Jessie at home. Really easy, right? And that is where my lives will be. My live streams will be only there starting next week, because Streamyard it went to renew, and it was renewing at nearly $500, which is twice what I paid for it last year. And I just it's not worth it for me. It doesn't make sense to pay that amount of money. I was already thinking of switching to just YouTube only anyway. So like literally yesterday, I was having this thought about switching to YouTube only for my live streams, because there's more options if I do the live stream directly through YouTube, which is really kind of the theme of what we're going to talk about today, is what you guys would like to see in live streams beyond just the Wednesday lunch. We would keep doing the Wednesday lunch live stream, but I was thinking of some other things, so we'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, so yesterday when I was talking about that with some other YouTube people, YouTube creators, I was thinking, maybe I should just go directly through YouTube. This evening we have our live Zoom sit and stitch here from 1 to 3. So this is our live stream right now. It's 12:13 Eastern time. So at 1 Eastern time, right after this is over, we will have the Zoom sit and stitch that runs from 1 to 3 Eastern. And then after that, I'm going to really dive into YouTube live streams to make sure I really understand everything for them, so that we can have more of those. So why don't we talk about that? Yesterday, a couple months from October through December, I did a YouTube shopping boot camp that was an invite thing from YouTube. And then I just started a YouTube live stream education that's running from January through March. That I was invited to from YouTube. So it's various, hey, so here we have, that's Kyla. She was over on Instagram, and she just popped on from YouTube because she heard what I was saying. Hi, Kyla. I love you. I miss you. Kyla is awesome. Kyla is my daughter. Kyla also does illustrations for me when I need illustrations. She's over at SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design, kicking butt because she's awesome, right? We'll have to I'll have to ask her what things I'm allowed to share with you guys, and maybe we'll ooh, there's an idea. We'll have to do a blog post with some of Kyla's art if she's amiable to that, because she's awesome, right? So anyway, let's turn that one off. There we go. So we had a little breakout session yesterday with the YouTube training where we were talking in smaller groups about live streams and just various things. And, we were all brainstorming with each other on what we could do. And one of the things we were talking about is some of us who have been doing YouTube for a longer amount of time have, we started off, there wasn't live stream. Like I joined YouTube in 2010. And there wasn't live streaming. It was like, do you want to do a video in portrait or do you want to do a video in landscape? And those were the two things you could do on YouTube: portrait, landscape. That's it. There was nothing else fancy. It had a description, nothing else. So, you try to keep up with everything as it changes and all of that. But those of us who have been around for a while, some of us we were talking about like the editing, the time when you're making a tutorial video. And a lot of what is on my YouTube channel, there's the lives, the most content is either the live streams or that are very kind of this sort of thing. And then tutorials. Some are long tutorials, like 5 minutes to an hour or two. And then I do have like shorts that are sped up versions of just like stitches or whatever, or even like shorts that are kind of like little advertising short for a pattern or whatever. And those shorts are great, but it was like, okay, these tutorials, if the tutorial itself is an hour long, maybe I made, let's take it, for example, the most recent tutorial I made was for the block number 1 for the Moogly cow, right? That block probably takes like maybe 2 hours to make I don't know how fast everybody else crochets, but if I just sit down and crochet it from start to finish, it's probably like 2 hours. Okay. Give or take. It's always hard for me to judge. But the videos, it was like 5 hours of filming videos because I would film something, right? And then I'd be like, ooh, I messed that up. I trip over my words trying to be perfect or whatever. And then you have to kind of say it again. Because it's not live. You want it to be kind of perfect when it's not live, when it's an actual like tutorial or whatever. So it would, and then once you've filmed the part that you want to film and you're like, okay, well, finish this step and then come back at this point, and then you stop and you work all the way up to the next point, and then you start going again and you film the next thing that you're doing and you film it 3-4 times, however many times it takes. And then you're like, oh crap, I made a mistake. And then you have to go back and start over, whatever. But it can sometimes take for like I'd say for that block, it was probably like 5 hours of filming and doing steps in between filming. And then it's like 3 or 4 hours. It's like that was probably like 3 hours of then editing afterwards. Okay. To get down to what was probably a total of, I think maybe 20 minutes to half an hour. I think it was about, I think it's a 20-minute video on YouTube, and then on my website, because the videos on my website they max out around 10 minutes. I did it in 2 parts. That was the same video. I cut it into 2 parts, and on YouTube, I put them both together back to back as one video, or actually I might have put them as 2. I don't even remember. Honestly, I don't remember. But yeah. So we're talking like an entire day, and really, to be honest, it was like 2 days, because there were other things going on as well that I had to handle, right? That I had to take care of and stuff. But you're really talking about an entire work day worth of time we're going to pretend like I really only work 8 hours a day, which is so not true. But you know, we're talking about a good like 8 hours of work to put into the tutorial for the block. So we're all like complaining about this, and some of the newer people are like, oh, well, you know what? Live stream it. And I'm like, are people going to watch that? I mean, because there's so much time where it's like, okay, now it's 3 rounds of single crochet. Now, sure, I can talk through 3 rounds of single crochet. And if I'm live streaming it and people are watching it live and people are commenting, I can answer questions. You know, I can tell silly stories about the day. I can, whatever. I can go all day. No problem. But are people really going to watch this? And they're all like, oh, yeah, they totally are. And when they realize that you're there and they can ask you questions and you'll respond to them, definitely. And then you can even do like the people who were there, like you can have a membership, and the people who have the membership, or the people who just commented and were there for the live stream. If you don't have a membership, just the people who actually came to the live stream, you can do a giveaway, and, you know, they can win the sample that you made, or, you know, the pattern for free, the PDF of the pattern for free, or whatever. So I'm thinking of now doing 2 kinds of live streams. I'm thinking that I can live stream when I am making samples, okay? And what I would do is then within the live stream, when it's all done and it's on the playback, I can go into the description and edit in and say, you know, this thing is at this timestamp is the start of row 2, and this timestamp is the start of row 4, because these are places where people might want to just jump to. So I can put that information in the description, so when people want the actual tutorial, they can just go to those correct times. And then I'm saving time because I'm only spending the time it takes to make the sample. I don't have to then go and make the video, or even make the video while I'm making the sample, but in a more tutorial sort of way where I'm stopping and pausing and all of that sort of stuff that I normally would do. I'll just make the video on the live stream and then go back in and, you know, do the timestamps. And if there's something that's super, super popular, I can always cut together a separate video for a tutorial that's just cut out of there, but it would still be much more laid back, because it would be in the live, it would have been cut from the live stream, as opposed to trying to do the perfection of a, you know, professional looking tutorial. One of the things, but it will still have obviously the qualities of my teaching skills and my quality of crochet or knit or whatever that I'm doing. So like I have this little dude, right, where there's a thing that goes here that you can attach your camera, or you can attach I have a little thing that will hold my phone that I can attach to this. And there's some of you, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, you can see this. If you're on Instagram, you can't, because the screen's different. But I have a little a little desk thing here, and this can attach to that. It can go up like this high. So I'm thinking what I want to do is take a look at how YouTube works. If I can have 2 cameras, and either have 2 cameras that are showing at the same time, or have 2 cameras and bounce back and forth. Because then what I can do is this, I have a desk right here that I can, right now it's got my computer on it and some other things. I can move the computer back a little bit and clean off the desk space. And so I can have this as my overhand shot. Okay. And when I'm doing, and I can, you know, if I can only have 1 camera at a time showing, this would be the one that would show when I'm actually crocheting and such, because you can see what I'm making, and then I can talk over it. I can answer questions. When I'm doing things that you really want to see, I'll have this going. And when I'm doing, you know, now crochet 3 rounds of single crochet, I can pop back to this view where, you know, and you can see me still crocheting this way, but we can have more of a conversation, and it's not just like my hands crocheting, which can get really boring if I'm doing now 3 rounds or however many rounds of single crochet. So that is where my brain is. And I would love to know what you guys are thinking. Monique says, sorry that I'm not engaging, but I am engaged because I'm driving and listening. Totally. Monique, do not text and drive, especially in the weather. Monique's in Canada. So, I mean, like, definitely not happy weather right now. You know, up here in North Jersey, they're finally having school. My son goes to the local community college. Well, not this community. The local community college. Well, it's not this county, it's the next county, but like you can throw a stone and hit the next county. So he goes to the Bergen County Community College, and my husband teaches high school in Paterson, New Jersey. And they both had no school at all on Monday. Yesterday, my husband had no school. Vero there was one class. The college still had class, but he only had one class, and that teacher canceled the class. So they're both back today. Vero has 2 classes today. It's his long day. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, he only has one class. And on Wednesday, he has 2 classes. And my husband had a delayed opening, but everybody's at school right now. So, and of course, my daughter's in Georgia, so she's had school all week long. She didn't get snow days. But I know, like, there are people who are getting some cold snow that aren't used to it. And, you know, I always try to remember that it's when people like are making fun of people in Texas or wherever, you know, South Carolina, and they're all freaking out because there's snow everywhere. It's always important to remember that, like, what to those of us who live up here where it gets cold a lot and where we have snow a lot, we have the proper tires. Like, I don't think, because I've lived all over the country, I know a little bit more about this that some people don't realize. Like, there are places where it doesn't snow, and the tires that they use on their cars aren't appropriate for snow. Like, we tend to put all-weather tires on our cars, right? That's what we always, you don't even think about it if you live someplace like where I live. You put it's all-weather tires. But like when I lived in California, people weren't using all-weather tires. And like if you drove up to Northern California and there was snow, you would have to put snow chains on your tires because your regular tires weren't really appropriate for driving in snow. And then on top of that, there are so many places where they don't have heat in their house because they don't need it, right? They're not used to driving in the weather. They don't have heat in their house. They don't have the proper winter clothing. If the temperature drops below freezing, they have to leave their pipes dripping, all of their faucets dripping, or their pipes will freeze. Like, we have heat in our house. So, you know, right now it's been below freezing for days outside. We don't have to leave our faucets dripping here in our home in North Jersey because our heat is keeping the whole house warm, and therefore all of our pipes are staying above freezing and everything like that. And everything is made in such a way that it's not something we have to worry about. So just, try to remember it's fun to make fun of the people who live in warm places when they freak out when it snows, but there are legit reasons. Monique says this is the largest snowfall they've had since 1931 at a stoplight using text to speech. So I'm not sure what this looks like. Even with the winter tires, we had so much snowfall that her mom's car was buried under the snow. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some pictures of people's cars totally buried who live in like Connecticut and that sort of place, where it gets really, really snowy. Yeah. And even if you have the proper tires, sometimes you still need to put the snow chains on your tires. If you've never put snow chains on your tires, it's kind of fun as long as you're dressed appropriately so that you're not freezing your booty off when you do it. it's kind of fun. It's like, have you seen snow chains? This is so not yarn related. But snow chains for your tires, right? It looks like a little like hanging ladder, you know, the hanging ladders that hang off helicopters. So it's just like chains that go this way and then chains in between as like rungs, right? And you put them down, like you stop the car, obviously, you lay them out in front of each of the 4 tires, and then you drive forward like the distance of half of the snow tire, so like a foot or two. You drive forward like 2 feet, right? Helps to have a friend. And then, or even actually, you don't even, if you drive forward like maybe like just a little bit, so like you want to have a little bit, you don't want to be exactly halfway because then it folds up to the top of the tire that's hard to reach. You kind of want to drive almost like a quarter of the way, because then what you do is you take the tire, you take the snow chain, you wrap it around the tire, and then it clips to itself, right? So the 2 straight ends kind of clip to themselves. So now that snow chain is wrapped around your tire. So the straight parts are actually shorter in circumference than your tire is. So that pulls it on, and then the parts that wrap around your tire wrap around your tire. So you just, as you're driving, your tire has these chains going across it that help grip the snow. It's really cool. Yeah. So I always love, like, I'm the dorky kid who, like, whenever there's something you have to stop and do to repair your car when you're a kid and your dad is like, all right, time to change tire, time to put the snow chains on the tire, you know, whatever. I'm like, I want to help because I just think it's cool. And, you know, it's nice to be able to fix things yourself and not have to wait for whoever to show up. Yeah. So, okay. So let's see. We were talking about, we have the live streams coming up. So yeah, I would love to know what you guys think about doing live streams of my design process. That was the other one I was going to say. You know, when I can do live streams when I'm making a sample, you know, crocheting, whatever, and those can be used. Like I said, I will timestamp them after when they go into the replays. So people, if I'm making, you know, if I'm making the square that I just made, you know, if I'm doing that live, then I'll timestamp it for here's where we started round 1, because that's, you know, someplace you might have a question, and here's where we do that crazy corner stitch that's in round 5, you know, is at this timestamp, so people can jump to it easy. And then I know a lot of times you guys are like, I would love to understand more about your design process so I can do the live streams while I'm working on designing something, and you can like have an idea of how my brain works. And, you know, I've gone forward and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to frog like the last 2 hours worth of work because I didn't like this after all. You can see just how insane I can get when it comes to doing designs and such. So I think we're going to try some of those. Like I said, I have this little thing that I can use to do, that I can attach to the my shelving unit I have here on my desk, that can do overhead shots. This is fine for the straight on shots. I clearly have some cleaning to do. I also have it set up nicely to do videos at my work table. I have a cutting table over there, that when I need just a big flat table when I'm doing my sewing or something, I have that over there. So yeah, and I do have several standalone webcams, and in addition, and then I have my cell phone. I think my camera and my video camera are probably both a little bit too old school to really to be able to plug into my computer and use as another camera. But I have, like I said, I have several video webcams and my cell phone. So yeah, I mean, like, worst case scenario, if I have to do a like in order to use 2 screens, if I have to like log on through my computer and then make a live stream with a guest, and the guest is my cell phone, so that I have 2 screens, I can do that. But like I said, after the Zoom today, the sit and stitch, I'm going to take a good look at how the YouTube live stream, all the options that I have when I live stream directly through YouTube, because I've always done everything through Streamyard with live streams, and you can't use all of the options on the individual sites when you're going through Streamyard. So I haven't really taken a look at those. But I am currently in training with YouTube for live streams. So that should be, I should be able to get some really good ideas and everything. I'm really excited about that. I've been having a lot of fun doing various trainings with YouTube. Super cool to be able to have that opportunity. So yeah, let's see. So if you guys, again, remember to let me know what you would like. Snow chains are really cool. However, they sound super strange. Yeah, they totally do. And you know what? I think I've only ever used them or seen them used in California, because people will go. California goes from like, Santa Monica, LA, San Diego kind of weather, all the way up to, Sacramento kind of weather, which can snow. And then I think the last time I ever did snow chains was, or I was in a car with snow chains, was visiting relatives who live in the Sacramento area, and we went up to Reno, and we had to use the snow chains when we went up to Reno. So yeah, I am frozen over on Instagram, or at least it is on my screen. So I don't know if I'm totally frozen on Instagram, or if it's just my screen that looks, if it's just like me. I'm not sure. But I really guess it's not a big deal at this point, because, as I've said several times, starting next week, we will only be on YouTube. It's not worth almost $500 a month, especially when I was thinking, a year, not a month. Oh my God, that would be insane, right? It's not worth almost $500 a year for me. For plenty of people, there are reasons to spend that money, and they use the app more than I do, and for more things. But for how I use it, it's not worth it, especially considering what I want to do with my YouTube channel. So yeah, I think that's about it today. I think a lot of people are really cold right now. Hold on. I missed something. I missed Monica saying, Georgia is really cold. No snow, but really frigid. Monica's son lives in Macon, Georgia. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's about it today. As I said, I don't know. I'm having a hard time keeping a thought today. I think it's just that I'm really cold. I think that's about it. I think my brain has frozen. I don't know. I think what it is I have so many ideas running through my head right now. I'm having a very ADHD moment during this live stream, because there are like so many thoughts in my head. I keep distracting myself. Do you ever do that, where like you're talking about something, but then you're thinking about something else, and then you realize that you have no idea what you're talking about because you've gotten really engrossed into whatever you were thinking about? And it's like, I don't know. It just like, I distract myself. It's such an ADHD thing, I think. I really think it is. All right. So I'll show you what I've been working on. I'm getting my little Anzula yarn bunting. The Anzula yarn is in different pride flag colors. So this one is I think this one is polyamorous. No, crappers. This one is pansexual, and this one is polyamorous. Maybe. Oh crap. I think this one is pansexual. This one is polyamorous. This one is non-binary. That one is transgender. And this one is the gay male flag. So, and then in between all of them, I have the little rainbow, a small little rainbow flag. And the little rainbow ones are knit, and the long individual flag colors are crochet. So I'm making a few of these for Knit the Rainbow to use in their various booths. And then hopefully at the Fabric and Fabric Craft Festival at the very beginning of May this year, which is a consumer event, which means all of you can come. It's like the first few days of May, I think Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, in Chicago at the Rosemont Convention Center. So it's actually in Rosemont, Illinois, which technically isn't Chicago, but it's really close to O'Hare Airport. And if you live in the Chicago area, you probably know where it is. But it is going to be a whole lot of fun. It's a consumer show, and I will have a code that can get you in for the whole weekend for free. All right. So you'll be able to use my code to get in for free, so you can save all your money for shopping. And I will be running the Stitching Help Lounge, where you can come in. It's in the marketplace, open the whole time the marketplace is open, and you'll be able to come in and meet some of the designers and the teachers. So if you take a class, we're trying to make sure that all of the teachers will take a shift in the Help Lounge after their class is over. Of course, except for those teaching at the very end of the last day, when there won't be an after their class is over. That we're trying to give people shifts in the Stitching Help Lounge, so they can be there if you want to ask them, your teacher, additional questions, or show off what you made with the skills that you learned in your class or whatever. So we'll be there. And also, what I would like to do while there is work on, we're hopefully we'll be doing a community project with Knit the Rainbow, where everybody will be working on various flags that, like in this case, the yarn was dyed in the colors of the flags, but what we'll be doing is actually crocheting and knitting flags that would be like rectangles, like about, flag dimensions about like this, flag proportions about like this size. So maybe like a foot long by, but that's probably like 8 or 9 inches, I think would be the proper flag proportions. And I'll have patterns in knit and in crochet, and we'll be making both of those, and with just like, the solid colors of the flag, and you'll just have to change color for each one. So hopefully we will be working on that community project for Knit the Rainbow, because it will be during the time that we're not collecting for winter items, because we don't tend to collect over the warm months. There's just too much storage. So there'll be lots of fun over at the Fabric and Fiber Craft Festival, and I will be telling you more about that as time goes on. So yeah, I think that's about it for today. We should probably get going, so that those of you who are coming to, in case you're wondering where Sarah is, Fire Lake Creations, her internet has been down. I just got a little note from her. Her internet has been down. It hopefully will be up on Sunday, but she's okay. She's normally here. So for those of you who are like, hey, normally Sarah's here. We normally see you put up responses from Sarah, because Sarah can be talkative too, which is awesome. Yeah, she's okay. Internet issues. Lives in Texas, in the Austin area of Texas. So, again, it's someplace that they're not set up for this kind of weather. So bad things happen because they're just not set up for this kind of weather. So those of you who will be coming to the Zoom Sit and Stitch, it starts in 16 minutes. So I'm going to let everybody go now, so that we all have time to throw some food in our mouths if we need some lunch, or take a comfort break, whatever you need. And then I will see y'all again in 15 or so minutes for the sit and stitch. And remember to let me know if there's specific things you want to see from live streams or anything else that we've been talking about. I know the last few weeks we've been talking a lot about what you want to see coming out of Jessie at Home, because I want this to be what you want it to be. And always feel free to send me an idea for a subject for the Wednesday lunch with Jessie's, or if there's somebody you would like to see as a guest, feel free to let me know those things. You can reply to newsletters, and you can also simply email me, easiest email ever, Jessie@jessieathome.com. Super simple. I'm Jessie. My business is Jessie at Home. So I'm Jessie@jessieathome.com. As long as you know that Jessie is JSSIE, super simple. All right, guys. I appreciate you so much. I know that life can be really hard right now, especially for those of us in the States. So remember, it is okay to not be okay. Do what you can to become okay. Reach out if you need to reach out. You can reach out to me, reach out to your friends. There are various places you can reach out to. If you just need to talk to somebody, it is okay to not be okay. And in times like this, it's totally normal to not be okay, to feel burnout, all of that sort of stuff. All right. Think about the things you can do to help yourself. One of those things would be, of course, something like coming to the Zoom Sit and Stitch, which is entirely free. And as I've said before, the two main reasons for it is to give you help when you need help with your creations, and for mental health, because sometimes we just need to have that conversation, that human connection. It doesn't even have to be about what's bugging you, just the human connection of other kind people. And my two rules: be kind. Rule number 1, be kind. Rule number 2, don't make any other rules. We're good to go. All right. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. I love you. You are worthy. You are amazing. The world is better because you are in it. And my world especially is better because you are in it. And I hope to see you all again really soon. Reach out if you need to reach out. Bye-bye.